Good afternoon, everybody. It is a beautiful day out right now. We have just received in the last few days another 3.5 inches of rain though. So I was hoping to be haying today and I cannot. The weather is kind of nice enough for haying, but the ground is so wet, I just can't do it, not where I want to go. But today we are working on a few different things. This morning I spread a bunch of loads. I cleaned the horse barn, my horse pen here where Lady and June are right now. Clean that all out. Here is the pen that we have for the cows, and Lady and June come in there quite often to stay out of the bugs, and it's a little cooler in here during these hot days. And so that's all cleaned out also. So now I'm just cleaning out at the end of the cow barn where is just another loafing shed, and that's a real sloppy mess in there. We've had so much rain and the rain kind of fills back into the barn sometimes, so it's a mess. But there's not that much in there. We got another load probably, and that'll be done. I have Bill and Baron today. Bill's on this side, Baron's on the other side. All the rest of the horses are out in the other pasture, and that's where they'll stay until later this afternoon or this evening. I hope they will be coming down for water and we can grab them and bring them into the barn, because tomorrow I hope to start working Duke and Earl some. We have some chores and odds and ends that we'll be doing. I'm not even sure what yet, but I need to spend time working with them, so hopefully we can get them in maybe tonight. But for right now, I thought I'd tie Lady and take Bree and take her in on the scales and weigh her up. You saw me weighing her up the other day, or at least walking on the scales. We've actually weighed her up at one point. I can't remember if it was then or not, but we've got to weigh her up, and then I'll tell you a little bit about Lady. And during this time, I've got a few questions that people have asked that I'd like to answer. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, I'm going to shut this door. You coming in or out? All right. Right. So today is June 6th. So that means
August 6th.
August 6th, I mean. So that means June is like 2.5 months old. I think that's right. Oh my goodness, I'm way off. June was born on June 12th, and it's only August 6th. So she's not even 2 months old yet. There you go. So if you guys have been watching my videos, you probably would have seen the last one we had of June, a very short one, leading her around, doing different things with her, taking in the house and things like that. And so you've seen her progress, come here, and how she's doing. So as our lead around, people have asked this question. It's a very good question, and I don't really know the answer to it. They asked, how is June doing in comparison to Bree, the foal we had last year? How are they doing comparably? And I'm just guessing, but I think probably June is doing a little bit better. Why that is, I don't know. But it does seem like she is a little bit more responsive, a little bit more willing to do what I want to do in a shorter period of time. Usually when I try something, it goes hard. Like I showed her going up on the porch. I've walked up to that porch, I think 2 different times before that point, different days, and she wouldn't go up the porch. She stopped right there. And I didn't try to get her to come up porch. I just let her be. And then that day, she just followed me up the porch nicely. Same with the trailer. I had led her up to the trailer a few times before and has never stepped up onto the trailer, and that particular day she just boom jumped right on right after me. So it seems like after, especially after she does it once, she's so much better. Same with on the scales. She has been on the scales quite a few times, and yeah, now she seems to go on really nice every time. Now today maybe she won't, but generally when she does something once without a problem, then she continues doing it. She leads very, very well, and so I don't know for sure, but I would guess probably she's doing a little bit better than Bree. So we're gonna put her right on the scales now. Brenda changed our weight board completely over, so it's all new. And I've got a picture of the old one I'll even show you so you can compare today from other days. Although June's not on it. Come here. Come here. Come here a little more. Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay. So Brenda's gonna weigh things up.
The other day she was 345.
I should have made a guessing game out of this for you guys to guess what she does weigh.
Well, today she is 365.
Oh my. She's getting to be quite a chunker.
Yeah, actually even probably 367 or so.
Even though she's not a full-blooded Suffolk punch, she sure has the build of one.
To me, she's a lot more like kind of muscled up than Bree was. Like all of her muscles are defined. And
right. But keep in mind, Lady, this is her second foal, so she has considerably more milk being her second time than she had for Bree. So it's understandable that June is bigger and more muscular and just all around more healthy foal than Bree was last year. So we're also have had quite a few issues with worms, and they continue to pester us. And my vet was saying the other day that maybe we ought to hit them again even this summer with worming, at least the ones that are prone to it, which is Bree and Bill especially. Those are the worst ones. So let me lead her back in there, and I think we'll grab June. I think we'll grab Lady, and we might as well weigh her too and see what she weighs. We can kind of keep track of her weights as we go throughout the year to see how she's gaining. So let's do that. When we get her out here, we'll talk a little bit about her and her situation.
Did you ever have to give June grain to get her up on the scale or anything, or did she just
I never did, no. I don't know if I did with Bree either. But it's amazing how good she does. She's still a bit of a freaky one. You know, if I move too fast, it'll still freak her out, which is okay. I like that spirit in her. As soon as you touch her, she calms right down, and she's really good. But anyways, that's another thing. I don't remember giving grain to Bree for a long, long time because I just had oats, and generally young animals don't love oats. If I had a sweet feed, they probably would have eaten it, but I wasn't too concerned about making her huge, so I didn't really care. And I knew that even last year, Lady had enough milk. But this year, this gal, she's gone right to eating grain already, and I've got a special spot where I feed her grain when I'm feeding Lady, so she's picking a fair amount of grain even now. So that's another reason, of course, why her weight is such. I haven't actually checked. It'd be interesting to go back to last year's video and see if I can get a ballpark of what, when I weighed up Bree for the first time. And it might have been 4 months before I actually weighed her up. I don't remember. But, you know, it could be a huge difference, but I don't know if there's that much. Okay, girl, you're getting impatient. Let's go. Come in. So let's take her and grab June. Yeah, grab Lady, and we'll talk about her and her situation. So because Brenda has to run the scales and I have to lead Lady on, come here. I think we'll just let June free, and she can do what she wants. I'm pretty sure she'll follow us right out. We'll talk about that as we get going.
on, Junie.
So Brenda, you'll have to get right over here and get her weighed up quick like.
Yep.
Because she's probably not going to want to stand on here very long unless Bree stays close by.
She's probably like
1700. 1650 probably.
Nope.
She's 17 plus?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. I feel that lady has held her weight better this summer than she did last also.
1730.
She goes outside all the time, but I think I've fed her more grain maybe than I did last year. Oops, come here.
She comes in pretty regularly.
Yeah. So I want to talk to you a little bit about Lady. As you've probably already come to the conclusion because of the title, yes, Lady is pregnant. So our vet came over the other day and did an ultrasound. At 18 days, yeah, she's fine. At 18 days, which still amazes me, at 18 days they can tell if a mare is in foal. And she said she's definitely in foal. It took a little longer than she was thinking about because one of the big important things about doing the ultrasound is to make sure there's not twins. Because when you have twins with mares, the vet will usually abort one of them because of the risk of having twins. Last year, we did not ultrasound Lady. We took a blood sample, and so we knew she was bred, but we didn't do an ultrasound. This spring, our neighbor down the road had a mare that had twins. Lost both the twins. The mother was such that they lost her too. Not immediately, but over time, they lost her too. So both my vet and myself were a little bit concerned because of the fact we didn't do an ultrasound to find out for sure if she was bred. Being that Lady was so late foaling, it concerned me a little bit also. But fortunately, all was well, and we did not have twins. So that's why we decided to do an ultrasound this year and not forget it. We are going to do another ultrasound, I think she said in like another week or so, because she wants to make sure she can hear the heartbeat of the foal. It was too early to know that, see that now. But apparently that short period of time, they can actually hear the heartbeat. So it's just so amazing to me what technology has come up with and with the ultrasound and all that stuff. So that's our good news with Lady. So let's put these two back. And
Here comes a little hot shot.
I've got to spread a little manure. Come on, June. Come here. June, you coming?
Come on, June. Come on.
Where are ya?
We're over here.
What are you doing, Dabber? Yep. What are you doing, Dabber? Oh. If I had more time, I'd take you and give you a little leading lesson, but I just don't have the time right now. I've got to get this manure spread. But let's just look at your feet real quick. And we'll put you back in the pen. Okay, come here, girl. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Just touch it, Brenda. Come on. Come on.
Just being a little bit of a hot shot today.
Come on. Yes. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come here. Come here. Come here. Stinker. Come here. Okay. We'll leave Lady tied. I want to open the door so there's more air through here. We bought a new fan the other day for the horse barn, but it's so much cooler today. We really don't need it. But I can't let these guys outside yet because I'm spreading manure and I need the gate out onto the roadway wide open. So I don't want her out. So I've only got another load or two and we'll be done here anyways.
Hi guys, so I am out in the garden while Jim is spreading manure. I am picking beans and pulling weeds. I planted a kind of bean this year and I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to see if I can remember what it is, but it's a flat bean. It's a green bean, but they're flat. They've been pretty prolific this year. They do sometimes get ahead of me and get really big. I'm not real thrilled with the big size sometimes, but I have frozen beans a few times already, so we have some in the freezer. I always find it a challenge to get ahead of or stay ahead of the game with the beans. And anyways, they are very good. It's nice to have fresh beans, but keeping them picked is always the challenge and so necessary if you want them to keep producing. The more you pick, it seems like, the better they keep producing. If you just leave them go and all get big, they stop producing. I wanted to share with you a little bit of the garden, but boy, you wish everything was perfect when you showed the garden. But the thing that Jim said, that we got a lot of rain, and when you get a lot of rain, it really gets to be hard to stay ahead of the weeds. I pulled some weeds as I went here. We cultivated last week in some of these rows, and you can see the little weeds are coming up, and we can't cultivate really anymore except maybe 1 or 2 rows, and he put the cultivator away for the year because to get it out for 2 rows is not really worth it. But everything's doing really pretty good. Most things are doing really good. The tomatoes, I think, are going to have a bumper crop, and to be honest with you, this spring I did not even want to show our tomatoes because I had planted them so early in the greenhouse, and they were so spindly because I shouldn't have planted them that early. So it took a little while for them to get going, but now they're like growing like gangbusters, and I'm probably going to have way more than I need. But I thought I'd give you a little walk through, and like I said, I wish I could show you a perfect garden. It's not perfect by any means. I did not keep ahead, although it did help a tremendous amount to put the diatomaceous earth on these. If I had kept doing it and it stopped raining, I would have not had so many, the top of my potatoes eaten off. But I have some lovely flowers this year. Thought I'd show you. The zinnias are coming along. And the corn hasn't started yet because I planted it early. I've got some peas here that are coming good. There's a corn over there. I gotta get the fence up for the raccoons. And I've got some vines growing here, but I've had a little trouble with my, the wet weather is killing off my, where are you? My summer squash. It's killing off. In fact, it's gone, but, and to be honest with you, I don't really care. We've had quite a bit of summer squash. The sunflowers have been a source of delight this year, and the chickens are truly enjoying them. We've got lots of banana peppers and green, I just knocked that one off. Green peppers coming along. Yay! Our daughter Trudy loves green peppers, and she'll be home soon, and we can give her some green peppers. The flowers have been a source of enjoyment for me this year. I got so much celery. I hear there's a drinking celery juice craze. I may have to start that. And the flowers have just been fun. Fun this year. Fun, fun, fun. I'll just show you the front flower garden. This is getting a little weedy in here, but this has just been a lot of enjoyment to me. The flowers this year, and a lot of them are, I've got little spots where I put stuff that I grew in the greenhouse in here, and I tried to just put as many flowers as in here as I could so the weeds wouldn't come through, and it worked pretty well. The water has helped this hydrangea very much. Anyways, I thought I'd just give you a little tour of the garden. Hope you enjoyed it. Skippy.
G. G. Oh, I tapped out. Oh, back. G, 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 G. Oh, I tapped out. Oh. Maybe third time will be a charm. Back, back, back a little more. Oh, good boys. Now back. So I got a couple of questions I want to answer from you guys, mostly about the horse pull I just went to. So one person asked if I thought, well, actually they asked if Brenda thought, but anyways, we think that the question was, do you think horse pulling is a dying sport? Oh, I cuffed up. And so my answer to that is, oh, absolutely. I believe it really is a dying sport. I really am sad about that, but there are, very few people come and watch the horse pulls, very few teams at a horse pull. I think that the biggest problem is the fact there's very few teams at the horse pull because very few people use horses. Oh, and I think generally at horse pulls, it's people that know people that have horses at the pulls that go to the horse pulls. And so since there's very few horse pulls pullers and people that take their horses to the fairs to compete, their friends aren't there, and so people in general are not there. Can you shut that door, Brenda?
Yep.
Another question somebody had about horse pulls, is there a water bill? That's not. Is the length of the horse pull. This particular horse pull that we went to, this last one, is a 15-foot pull. And the person was asking that he's always only seen 27.5-foot pulls. And that is very common around even Western New York and all throughout the West. I believe that's what it is. For myself, growing up in Vermont, we actually had a lot of 6-foot poles, which is what I was used to before I moved up here. And then up here, it seems like we had a lot of 20-foot poles, 15-foot poles, different lengths. So they're all different, and horses get used to whatever they do. So in other words, if they're out west of us and they're doing 27.5-foot poles, they get used to that. But if they're in Vermont, and even now though there's very few 6-foot poles, but when horses would pull 6 foot, and then they went to a long pull like a 20-foot pole or a 27.5-foot pole, they didn't usually do very well because they're used to pulling really hard for that 6 feet, and that's all they have to pull. So it's quite different. So each of these different individual poles, if they're consistent with the horses that you're using, it works great. But if you're jumping around from a 6-foot pole to a 27-foot pole to a 15-foot pole, it does make it hard on the horses because they're not used to that different lengths. It's just the way it is. But generally, in a certain locality, it's the same length for most all the poles. So I'm going to harness these horses, and I'm going to let Brenda finish up this video because she wanted to talk to you a little bit about Pansy.
Yeah, so some of you have seen that Pansy is quite thin, and the reason for that is we're not sure. We're not sure what's going on with her, but she has been milking for a long, long time. And she didn't get bred where she was before, and that's one of the reasons we were able to get her, because artificially she wasn't getting bred. So we got her hoping that she would be bred by the bull. We do have a bull. We're not sure if she's bred or not, but in the meantime she has lost some weight. Don't know if it's because she's been milking for so long or what. She does have a few issues, like she's got a foot issue we're dealing with right now. It's probably foot rot. So our vet recommended that we give her some antibiotics. We've been doing that and checking on her, and she's just out to pasture with the other cows who are all fat out to pasture, but she is not. So we are giving her a break from milking, and we're just going to have to see what happens with Pansy. I love her, but we'll just have to see how she does with a little rest period. One funny thing is that, I don't know, it was almost probably about a month ago, Jim did the milking because I was gone for the weekend, and he did about 10 squirts by hand and said, forget this. And we had a milking machine, so he hooked up the milking machine and started milking her by the milking machine. And that actually worked great, and when I got back, I decided to keep doing that because I was having some problems with my hands after milking her. She's a very, very slow milker. She has very short teats, so it worked out good to use the milking machine. So, am I missing anything?
Nope, I think that's about it. We're quits on this video. You guys have a great day. We'll see you next time.